So for the last part of our hemorrhagic disorders, we do have now your congenital coagulopathies. So for your congenital coagulopathies, mainly these are all inherited disorders. Okay, so congenital coagulopathies are inherited disorder. Okay, meaning that they are coming from your parents or even on your um, family tree. Okay, that affects the blood clotting due to deficiency, okay, or dysfunction of your coagulation factor. So you know, we are dealing now for the secondary hemostasis. So this disorder often lead to excessive bleeding and in some cases thrombosis since your coagulation factors also triggers the fibrinolysis. So if ever that you do have a problem with regards to our coagulation factor, it may also lead to thrombosis. So not only bleeding. Okay. So first is your von Willebrand disease. So this is an inherited bleeding disorder caused by deficiency or dysfunction of your von Willebrand factor mainly. Okay, so symptoms are usual mucocutaneous bleeding. Bakit kaya mucocutaneous bleeding? Sabi natin dati, mucocutaneous bleeding are only related with platelet dysfunction or decreased platelet count. But okay, if you would notice, no, or if you would know again, the function of your von Willebrand factor, it is related with your platelet function and number. That's why no, it would also manifest with mucocutaneous bleeding. Okay? Mucocutaneous bleeding din ang manifestation niya, such as nosebleed, easy bruising, okay, heavy menstrual bleeding. Okay, then we do have types of your von Willebrand disease. So the type 1 is the mild form or mild deficiency, which is most common and it is around 70 to 80% and partial quantitative von Willebrand deficiency. So the amount of your von Willebrand factor is decreased, partially. Okay, next is your type 2 functional defects, meaning okay, your von Willebrand doesn't function well. So kung si type 1, ang problema mo is number, okay? Si type 2 naman, function. Okay? So your type 2 has subtypes of 2A, 2B, 2M, and 2N. So later discuss natin yung mga subtypes. Okay? For the type 3, which is known to be your severe deficiency, it is usually rare and complete absence. So wala ka talagang von Willebrand factor circulating in your body. So that's the severe type. So 3. Okay, wala ka ng von Willebrand factor. So, yan. So we do have your this is a structure of your von Willebrand factor. And as you can see, no, it has a factor 8, your GP1B, your Adams 13, collagen, and GP2B3A. So, yun yung mga yan ay connected with your monomers in your von Willebrand factor or your high molecular weight von Willebrand factor. Kaya, no, if you do have deficiencies, okay, or problems with regards to this, it is also related to the von Willebrand factor. Okay, na napag-aralan natin on your platelet and even in the acquired and quantitative components of your diseases for platelet. So, this is a depiction on how your von Willebrand works. Okay, so your von Willebrand will attach to your Weber pallide bodies that are attached in your endothelial cells. So your von Willebrand factor will be activated, okay, when exposed to the endothelial cells, specifically the Weber pallide body. So this von Willebrand factor later on will adhere with your platelets, okay? At didikit siya dyan, yung mga platelets nyo, providing, okay, the adhesion process. Okay? And then your Adams 13, again, anong function ni Adams 13? It cuts down your ultra-large von Willebrand factor into shorter or mas maliliit na, okay, von Willebrand. Okay. So, this is a depiction of your von Willebrand multimer. So, Usually, that's the largest, okay? So, large von Willebrand factor, okay? This is the subtypes. Okay, kung gaano ka ratio, the normal ratio or gaano kadalas. So, yan, as you can see, the N, okay, or the normal, the normal von Willebrand, okay? During application, it would manifest as like this. Okay? Pagka von Willebrand type 1 naman, may kulang. Kasi nga, anong kulang ang sabi natin sa von Willebrand type 1? Okay? Quantity ang kulang. So, meron kang kulang, may missing ka dito. Pag type 2 naman, key functionality. So, large quantities, okay, of your components of your von Willebrand factor, components na pinag-usapan natin are absent. Kasi dito na, as you can see, comparing into the color on your type 1, mas lighter and may mga missing parts. That's why quantitative lang. Ito kasi may missing parts talaga na malalaki. Wherein, you do have this functional of your von Willebrand factor. Pag type 2B naman, okay, meron din siyang dysfunctional. So, mas konti yung absent niya. So, mas severe si 2A kaysa kay 2B. And sa 3, okay, wala na halos talaga. Okay, or severely, wala kang von Willebrand factor. So, let's go now to the types and subtypes of your von Willebrand factor. So, sa type 1, again, okay, mild to moderate cases and partial quantitative von Willebrand factor deficiency. So, this is autosomal dominant mutation wherein it provides you frame shifts, nonsense mutation, and even deletion. So, pwede din siya maging ganun yung pattern of inheritance and or mutation. So, symptoms. Mild to moderate systemic bleeding, especially after trauma or surgery. If you would remember, again, your von Willebrand is related to their endothelial or injuries, okay, to the endothelium. Wherein, if you would have this trauma or surgical procedure, if you do have your von Willebrand disease type 1, okay, you could have mild to moderate systemic bleeding kasi nga, okay, there is no clotting formation or no platelet adhering to your endothelial tissue. Okay, so the lab findings for this one, okay, the proportional reduction of von Willebrand multimer and factor 8. So again, related si factor 8 kay von Willebrand because your factor 8 is released by the endothelium and it is only released, okay, by the endothelium and the platelet, okay, once that your von Willebrand is already activating this part. Okay, or na-activate na or nag-adhere na si von Willebrand factor. Next, for the type 2, okay, the qualitative defect, the quality of your platelet or the functionality yung problem naman natin with this. So, normal or slightly reduced von Willebrand levels but defective in function. Okay, so for your 2A, 10 to 20% of the cases and mutation in A2 and D1 domains, wherein it increases the cleavage of your von Willebrand by Adams 13. So, mas mabilis mahate yung von Willebrand mo by your Adams 13. And, ano nangyari? The loss of high molecular weight multimer, wherein it impairs your platelet adhesion. So, ano nangyayari? Masyadong maliliit. Una is masyadong maliliit dahil sa mutation dito sa gene na to. So, kung ito yung von Willebrand factor mo dapat, ganito na lang siya ganito na yung kahaba, nagiging ganyan na lang siya kahaba. Okay, wherein, kung ganyan siya kahaba, hindi din magiging effective yung adherence ng platelet with your von Willebrand factor. Okay, so, kaya nagkakaroon ng impaired platelet adhesion. Okay, next, your 2B, wherein less than 5% of the cases is seen, mutation in A1 domain. So, kung kanina, si 2A binaliktad, A2 and D1, si 2B ay A1 domain. Increasing the platelet binding. So, magkakaroon ka ng increased platelet binding. But the problem is, your high molecular weight, okay, multimer spontaneously binds to the platelet, okay, producing thrombocytopenia. So, mas ina-activate mo yung platelet ngayon, even though, hindi ganon kailangan. And this is confirmed by ristocetin-reduced platelet aggregation or your RIPA. Okay. So, mas severe. Sino mas severe dyan sa dalawa? It's your 2B. Okay, mas severe si 2B. Bakit? Kasi it consumes your platelet. Okay, unlike this one, okay, unlike your 2A, okay, hindi niya nagagamit si platelet efficiently. But on your 2B, inaactivate si platelet, okay, reducing the count of your platelet, leading more to bleeding or hemorrhage. Next, okay, your 2M, okay, normal multimer pattern but defective platelet receptor binding. So wala ka pa ring binding and can be misdiagnosed as type 1 or type 2. For 2N, Normandy variant, autosomal hemophilia, okay, less than 5% in cases. You do have defective factor 8 binding site. So meron naman siyang D9 domain mutation. It usually mimics your hemophilia A, affecting both sexes. So, kaya nga, bakit niya minimimic si hemophilia A? If you would remember, factor 8 deficiency is hemophilia A. So, if your von Willebrand factor is defective in binding with factor 8 or activating your factor 8, it would also manifest like that. Okay? Suspected in women diagnosed with hemophilia or males unresponsive to your factor 8 okay, therapy. Bakit? Kasi hindi naman kasi si factor 8 yung problem mo. Okay? Yung binding site. And saan mo nakikita yung binding site ng factor 8? Okay? Sa activation site or sa endothelial cells wherein it was already been activated by your von Willebrand factor. Okay, type 3, which is the most rare and the severe form, okay, of your von Willebrand factor. So, near or total absence. So, sobrang baba or sobrang konti or sobrang wala ka talagang von Willebrand factor and less than 10% of the normal level. So, usually it manifests as severe mucocutaneous or anatomic bleeding. Kasi nga, since wala kang von Willebrand factor, there is no initiation of your platelet adhesion, okay, until your platelet plug formation. Okay, wala kang ma-perform na ganun. And again, no, your primary hemostasis would trigger your secondary hemostasis. And if walang activation ng platelet na mangyayari, okay, wala din tayong coagulation. That's why dalawa yung manifestation niya, mucocutaneous and anatomic. Okay, next. Factor 8 levels are very low, okay, leading to severe secondary hemostatic defects. Okay, so again, if you remember, no, kanina pinakita natin yung itsura ng multimer ni von Willebrand and included in its structure is your factor 8. So if you don't have any von Willebrand factor in your system, okay, you would also manifest with decreased factor 8 decreased factor 8 coagulant. Okay? Caused by homogeneous or compound heterogeneous mutation. So this is sample of your test that could be done for your von Willebrand disease. So we could have factor 8 and von Willebrand factor. So designation for combination of your factor 8 and von Willebrand factor. Pag factor 8 lang, this is known to be your procoagulant factor 8 or this is transported by ion von Willebrand. Okay? So, yan. And the deficiency on your factor 8 is called hemophilia A. Then your von Willebrand antigen epitopes, that is antigenic target for your von Willebrand immunoassay. And your coagulant, factor 8 coagulant activity is measured by clot-based factor assay. So other tests, so we do have your restositine cofactor, collagen binding assay, immunoactivity, GP1B, GP1BR, and GP1BM, and your RIPA, wherein your RIPA is the usual one that we utilize for testing for von Willebrand disease. Okay, so how do we diagnose or detect von Willebrand disease in laboratory? So Your diagnosis requires personal family history. Okay, personal and family history of your mucocutaneous bleeding. Bakit? Kasi nga, since this is a congenital type, okay, we need to know if there is any one of the family manifesting with the same, okay, signs and symptoms or even the condition. Okay, the laboratory test confirming decreased von Willebrand concentration or function. So the initial test is usually, no, again, CBC, wherein we rule out thrombocytopenia. Okay, and we would add, okay, prothrombin time and PTT, okay, to rule out other coagulation factor deficiency. So usually, okay, your CBC, the platelet count is normal, your PT-PTT is usually normal also in your von Willebrand disease. Okay, so we can do primary von Willebrand test panel wherein you need to do von Willebrand antigen assay wherein we measure the concentration of your von Willebrand circulating in your blood. And we could also have your cofactor, histocystine cofactor assay, okay, to analyze the activity of your von Willebrand factor or the functionality of your von Willebrand factor. We could also have factor 8 assay wherein we could differentiate your factor 8 from von Willebrand disease. Okay. We could also have other diagnostic tests. So sinabi nga natin the RIPA, excuse me, wherein it would differentiate the subtypes of your type 2B. Okay? Your multimer analysis wherein it would differentiate your subtypes as to your type 2. And the newer assay that we utilize now, okay, is your GP1BM and collagen binding to improve the diagnostic accuracy wherein, no, this would assess the functionality of your von Willebrand as to the adhesion, okay, to platelet or the initiation of platelet adhesion and the collagen binding. Okay, so what are the factors affecting von Willebrand factor levels? So first is your blood group, wherein O blood type has a lower von Willebrand factor. Hormones and pregnancy. So estrogen increases von Willebrand levels. That's why, most of pregnant women has a higher risk of thrombosis, okay, especially the deep vein thrombosis. Inflammation and stress. Acute illness or trauma can rise von Willebrand factor. So, yeah. So this is a summary wherein we could see the test done and what is the result to the types of your von Willebrand. So ano lang kailangan natin tandaan dyan? Okay. Pag si type 1, usually, okay, konti si activity, mababa din si antigen. Okay. Pareho mababa si activity and si antigen. Kasi again, yung type 1 mo is quantitative. Kulang ka sa number. Okay? Next. Sa type 2, okay, functionality, function type 2. So, lahat ng 2 would have normal to decrease platelet activity. Okay? Decrease platelet activity except 2N. Okay? Then, for antigen, normal to decrease lahat. Okay. And, ang naiiba lang ulit dyan, okay, von Willebrand activity, and antigen combination, more than 5 yung ratio pag si 2N. Okay? And usually, ang decrease lang ang platelet count dyan is si 2B. Okay. So type 3 naman, again, absent or very low ang von Willebrand factor activity. Same with the antigen. Kasi nga siya yung pinaka-rare, pinaka-severe natin, yung pinaka-rare, wherein wala ka talagang von Willebrand. Kaya absent din ang ristositine. Okay? Yung ristositine related test natin for von Willebrand factor. Okay? And usually your PTT is increased for type 3. Bakit? This is related to your factor 8. Okay. And with the multimers, usually multimers. Type 1 is normal. Okay? Type 2, intermediate or absent. Minsan, large. Bakit? Kasi nga yung functionality of your um, 1 millibrand. Same with your 2B. Normal kay 2M and 2N. And all absent with your type 3. Okay. So what are the pitfalls or challenges with your von Willebrand disease diagnosis? So overdiagnosis and misclassification. Of course, low von Willebrand factor is often misdiagnosed as type 1 von Willebrand. Okay? And ABO group influences previous use of reference interval. So now, it is population-based. So kaya may iba yung um, factors, the factor as to the normal value since na-check na yung blood group. Kasi nga, again, blood group O would have a significant, okay, as to your von Willebrand factor. Interfering factors in testing, you do have poor reproducibility of your von Willebrand factor Ristositen-Co assay. Okay? Specimen handling error such as prolonged tourniquet application would activate your von Willebrand. Okay, of course, plasma storage could also affect the viability of your von Willebrand and even the factor 8 wherein this are both labile and post-positive for from your rheumatoid factor and heteropyl antibodies cross-reacting with your test. Need for repeat testing wherein your von Willebrand activity fluctuates over time and repeat assay if results are usually inconclusive. So what are the treatment approach into your von Willebrand disease? Pagka mild bleeding lang, usually localized measure, so price, so protect, rest, ice compression, and elevation, usually. Okay, pag mild bleeding. Pag moderate bleeding naman, we could provide desmopressin acetate, okay, or Stimate, brand name, wherein it releases stored von Willebrand factor, effective in your type 1, okay, and some type 2 but not 2B. And yan din yung ating primary treatment for von Willebrand disease, your desmopressin. Pag severe bleeding naman, usually type 3 and type 2B, okay? Okay, plasma-derived von Willebrand concentrate, okay, would be used. Recombinant von Willebrand factor, wherein this is again the new or FDA approved, but usually wala pa yun sa Pilipinas. And avoid cryoprecipitate and plasma due to, again, viral transmission and transfusion-associated circulatory overload. Okay? So, yan. So, as to the type and the treatment, therapeutic treatment. So, sa type 1, usually, estrogen, okay, hormone, okay, but common denominator to all, we could use desmopressin. Okay, let's go now to your hemophilia. So for hemophilia, this hemophilia A, first is your factor 8 deficiency. So hemophilia A is a congenital bleeding disorder caused by factor 8 deficiency, wherein this is the second most common congenital bleeding disorder after your von Willebrand disease. And this is ironic because your von Willebrand disease is related to factor 8. That's why sometimes we misdiagnose factor 8 deficiency as von Willebrand disease or vice versa. And primarily affects males, 1 in 8,000 individuals. And again, since this is males na affected, this is X-linked. Okay, X-linked related. And 85% of hemophilia cases are due to factor 8 deficiency. Kasi we also have hemophilia B and C. So, common type of hemophilia is your hemophilia A. Okay. So, for the structure and function of your factor 8 is around 285,000 Daltons in size and encoded on your X chromosome. That's why, this is an X-linked related condition. Okay. Activated Factor 8A forms a tenase complex, okay, with your factor 9, which amplifies coagulation by activating your common pathway with the use of your factor 10. And factor 8 deteriorates in storage. That's why, ay sabi ko natin kanina, this is a labile factor. Okay, affecting your blood transfusion efficacy. Kaya wala masyadong factor 8 concentrate. And for the genetic inheritance, again, your hemophilia A is X-linked recessive. X-linked recessive meaning mother to son. And only males are affected, but females are carrier. So male hemizygotes, okay, 1X chromosome, experience the bleeding. Okay, bakit? Kasi on the female side, no, they have 2X. And kung dysfunctional yung isang X, pwede pang mag-compensate yung isa. Kaya usually carrier lang si female. Okay. And they do not have any symptoms but may develop hemophilia due to homozygosity, meaning parehong X chromosome niya yung affected, but this is usually rare. Okay? An extreme lionization, random X chromosome inactivation. So, yung normal chromosome X niya, biglang nag-inactivate or nagiging defective. And yung spontaneous mutation in your normal alleles would also affect. Okay. 30% of the cases arises from new mutation. Okay, new mutation meaning walang family history. Okay, kaya we need to screen. Next, okay, the clinical manifestations of your hemophilia A. So for the clinical manifestation, usually it manifests as anatomic bleeds. Okay, bakit hindi na mucocutaneous? Kasi hindi naman siya masyadong related kay platelet or sa function or activation ng platelet. Kaya wala na tayo mucocutaneous bleed. So usually anatomic bleed. So involving your joints, okay, muscles, soft tissue, CNS, and even other organs. So sa joint bleed, your hemarthrosis usually causes pain, inflammation, and eventually immobility. Okay, and your intracranial hemorrhage can lead to severe neurological symptoms or death. So again, in the brain or in the CNS, we need balance as to the blood, okay, the tissue, and the CSF. Kaya, if ever na may tumaas dyan, okay, dumami yung blood mo sa utak, which is usually hemorrhage, okay, it could cause death. Pag tumaas yung CSF mo, it could lead to neurological symptoms and even death. And even yung tissue or your brain swells, okay, that would cause death. Okay, severity correlates with factor 8 activity. So, kung gaano kakonti yung factor 8 mo, ganun din yung manifestation. So, sa severe, less than 1 unit per DL. So, usually, you manifest with spontaneous bleeding. Wala, dire-diretso yung bleeding mo or severe. Okay, massive yung hemorrhage. Pag moderate, 1 to 5 units per DL. So, after minor trauma, magkakaroon ka ng bleeding. So, if walang trauma, you are normal. Pero, if there is any trauma involved, you could bleed. And sa mild, okay, bleeding, 5 to 40 units per DL, bleeding mainly after surgery or major trauma, meaning usually penetrating yung major trauma or severe, very traumatic blunt trauma. Okay, laboratory diagnosis. So, prolonged PTT, okay, normal PT, fibrinogen, and TTT. Again, this is an intrinsic pathway factor. Kaya, ang affected natin is si PTT. Okay? Factor 8, activity assay confirms the diagnosis. Kasi nga, no, si factor 8 activity assay ang ginagamit natin to differentiate your von Willebrand factor and von Willebrand disease and your factor 8 deficiency. And carrier detection, okay, factor 8 to von Willebrand factor antigen ratio if we suspect any inheritance. So, complication. Chronic joint disease, of course, na sinabi nga natin, it affects your joints in a manner of your um, hemarthrosis. Okay? Neurological damage, your intracranial bleed. Okay? Psychosocial effect, wherein depression, low self-esteem, and disability usually caused by neurological problems. And historical risk of HIV and hepatitis, so usually from the blood products of 1985 because during that time, no, hindi pa naman masyadong nai-screen yung mga bloods natin. Okay. So, the treatment and management for the treatment for mild to moderate cases, of course, desmopressin, Major-Bon Willebrand. Okay. Antifibrinolytics such as your tranexamic acid and epsilon aminocaproic acid. And as to the severe cases and prophylaxis, so we could utilize factor 8 concentrate. So your factor 8 concentrate, no? These are usually plasma-derived factor 8. Okay? Risk of non-lipid virus transmission. So if ever we decrease by utilizing the transmission of viruses utilizing plasma-derived factor 8. We could also use, okay, recombinant factor 8 preferred in industrialized country. Okay, and extended half-life, recombinant factor 8, wherein your eloctate, your fragment crystallization fusion, okay, your FC fusion, no, the brand name, Adenovate, okay, and Afstilla. Okay, so those are the brand name of your extended half-life. Kasi nga, again, your factor 8 is um, very fragile. That's why they utilize, okay, life extenders for your factor 8. And prophylactic therapy, we transfuse or infuse, okay, 3 times a week, or extend half-life formulation for less frequent dosing for your factor 8. Okay, so factor 8 inhibitors. So 30% of severe hemophilia patient develop inhibitors or allo antibodies against factor 8, leading to destruction and decrease activity of your factor 8. Okay, detects via mixing studies and Bethesda assay. So si Bethesda assay could be used to detect factor 8 inhibitors, and new chromogenic factor 8 assay are improving the diagnostic accuracy and the ease of testing. Next, for your emergency treatment, so emerging treatment, so we could check the gene, okay, if there is defect, as to genetic engineering, under investigation to provide long or permanent correction of your factor 8 deficiency, and then non-factor therapy such as your emicizumab. Okay, emicizumab, this is a biphasic antibody mimicking your factor 8 function. So, hindi factor 8 yung pinoprovide mo. Okay, analog lang. That mimics your function. Okay? Next, we go to your hemophilia B or your factor 9 deficiency, also known as your Christmas disease. Okay? Again, your factor 9 is also known as your Christmas factor. Okay, this accounts for about 14% of hemophilia cases, okay, in the US. So in India, its incidence is nearly equal to hemophilia A. So usually this is related to race. Okay? So factor 8 is caused by deficiency of factor 9. Okay, and it is a vitamin K dependent protease. Kaya if you have vitamin K deficiency, you could also manifest factor 9 deficiency. Kaya nga kanina, doon sa ating discussion from acquired, we also discuss hemophilias. Okay? So, factor 9 is activated. So, the function of your factor 9, okay, is activated by factor 9A and 7A, forming your factor 9A. Okay. Your factor 9A complexes, it is activated by factor 11. 11 and 7. Sorry. Okay, your factor 9 is complex with factor 8. That's why you activate your common pathway, your factor 10, leading to thrombin formation. So deficiency result in reduced thrombin production, leading to soft tissue and anatomic bleeding, similar to hemophilia A. Okay? Halos pareho sila ng manifestation. Kaya nga, usually we detect this by utilization of single factor assay or okay, um, specific factor assay. Okay. So genetic and carrier detection, this is also in X-linked recessive with numerous mutation causing various severity. Okay. Carrier detection is more challenging than hemophilia A due to first, large number of your factor 9 mutation. So mas madami siya mutation kaysa sa factor 8 and no link molecule. Unlike your factor 8, no, meron siyang link molecule such as your Von-Willebrand factor. That's why we can assess, no, factor 8 activity by your Von-Willebrand. And okay, the DNA analysis can sometimes confirm carrier status if a known mutation is identified in a relative. So since this is inherited, okay, we also check the patient history as to the manifestation of the disease in the family. So how do we diagnose? Almost same with your factor 8. The difference is the von Willebrand factor. Okay? So prolonged PT, because this is an intrinsic pathway factor. So normal pa rin ang PT mo, fibrinogen, and even your TTT. Okay? So the assay is necessary for diagnosis even PTT is within normal range because again, some reagent does not detect mild deficiency because of its many mutation. So how do we treat and manage? We could use factor 9 concentrate or plasma derived factor 9. Okay? We do have these brands. Okay, Immunine and Mono9. Okay, initial dose is doubled to account for factor 9 extravascular distribution. So the dosing is every 24 hours due to the half-life of your factor 9. Okay, other concentrates that we could utilize recombinant factor 9, wherein we could use Benefix, manufactured by Pfizer. Okay, produce carbohydrate cell without human and animal protein. Okay, used on demand and prophylactic treatment. So you can only have no 2 to 3 infusions per week, unlike your plasma concentrate because again of the half life. So mas mahaba yung half life. Okay, extended half life of your recombinant factor 9. You could utilize this brands your Aprolix, Idelvion, and okay. So depending on the content such as FC and albumin. So allows dosing as frequent as once every 2 weeks because of the stable factor 9. So monitoring of therapy. So fixed therapy is fixed therapy. Factor 9 therapy is monitored using the one-stage clot assay and chromogenic assay are being developed for better accuracy and low level sensitivity. So if we do have inhibitors of your factor 8, we also have inhibitors of factor 9. So it usually occurs around 3% of hemophilia B patient, no? Less frequent siya than your factor 8 inhibitors. And your factor 9 inhibitors, no, bind factor 9 avidly, making treatment challenging. So mas mahirap kaysa kay factor 8. And detect using the Namigen Bethesda assay also. Okay? Manage similarly with your factor 8. So we could utilize activated PCC and immunomodulation therapy for long-term management of factor 9 deficiency. Next, your factor C, factor C, hemophilia C or factor 11 deficiency. This is also known as your Rosenthal syndrome caused by factor 11 deficiency, and this is now autosomal dominant inheritance, unlike your hemophilia A and B that are X-linked. So autosomal dominant, and this manifests mild to moderate bleeding disorder. So the epidemiology of hemophilia C, no, more than half of cases occur in your Jewish ancestry or Ashkenazi Jew. Okay? So, may relation as to the race ulit. Okay? Can affect individual. So, again, balik tayo. Pag si Indian, usually that's factor 9. Pag si Jewish or Jews, okay, factor 11. Okay? Can affect individual in any ethnic background, but again, no, as to the race, ito yung mga race na affect niya. Okay, clinical features, severity and frequency of bleeding do not correlate with factor 11 levels, and laboratory monitoring is little value after diagnosis. So, hindi masyadong effective ang pagmamonitor natin ng factor 11 levels as to this deficiency. So, treated with frequent plasma infusion during bleeding episode and surgical or hemostatic challenge. So, pag walang bleeding, do not treat. Okay. Laboratory findings. So, prolonged PTT and normal PT because, again, this is an intrinsic pathway. Okay. Other congenital single factor deficiency, rare and autosomal recessive disorder often associated with consanguinity. Pag sinabi natin consanguinity, okay, they are offspring of two related individuals, meaning family relation. Okay, family related. Okay, laboratory test, usually we utilize, syempre, your PT-PTT as a standard and your TP to help distinguish these factor deficiencies as to the pathway. And immunoassay to differentiate between the quantitative and the qualitative abnormalities. And the common we seen is the proteinemias, wherein this often cause severe bleeding but have a lower risk of inhibitory formation. So, first is your factor 5 deficiency, wherein the symptoms is diminished platelet function. So, this could manifest mucocutaneous bleeding and prolonged bleeding time, but normal platelet aggregation. So, what is the lab findings for this? So, since your factor 5 is common pathway, you could have factor 2, prothrombin time, and your PTT as prolonged or abnormal. Okay, treatment, platelet concentrate due to your factor 5 storage in your alpha granules. Okay, so factor 5 is in your alpha granules. And combined factor 5 and factor 8 deficiency linked to chromosome 18 mutation affecting both protein transport. Next, factor 7 deficiency. So symptoms, usually moderate to severe anatomic hemorrhage. Okay, bakit anatomic? Okay, because of it's extrinsic in nature. So lab findings, usually prolong ang PT natin because this is extrinsic. So treatment, Novo7 or your recombinant factor 7 activated, or 4-factor PCC targeting, okay, 10 to 30 units per deciliter of your factor 7. Note that the severity does not always match your factor 7 activity. So, same sila ni factor 11. Next, factor 10 deficiency. So, moderate to severe anatomic hemorrhage and potentially life-threatening. Bakit? Because you would not form any clot and even initiate fibrinolysis if your factor 10 is affected. Okay, lab findings, both PT and PTT because this is a common pathway. Okay, plasma or non-activated PCC could be the treatment targeting 10 to 40 units per DL of factor 10. So note that acquired factor 10 deficiency is linked to amyloidosis, proteinemia, and antifungal drugs. For your factor 13, anatomic bleeding pa rin and poor wound healing. Bakit? Okay? Because of your weak clot formation. Because your factor 13, again, it stabilizes your clot. And the findings is normal lahat. Okay? But, okay, we could utilize your 5M urea test, wherein this is the traditional test for screening of your factor 13 deficiency. So, diagnosis is confirmed by chromogenic factor 13 assay. Okay? And usually, we could have, okay, molecular forms such as plasma factor 13 and intracellular factor 13 with this, okay, um, formation. Okay? Next, fibrinolytic regulatory protein deficiency such as your alpha-2 antiplasmin and your PI1 deficiency. They are rare, no? Cause moderate to severe bleeding, and diagnosis is via chromogenic substrate. So go back into our lecture as to the regulatory protein and the coagulation factors to review the functions of these factors and proteins. Okay, so in comparison or in summary as to what is prolonged as to the test and what factor is usually affected. Okay, and as to the deficiency, then the factor levels, okay, usually less than 30 ang nakikita natin, and the symptoms, ang nandyan lang naman na naiiba natin is si factor, where is it? Okay, the wound healing with your factor 13. Okay? The wound healing with your factor 13. And the therapy that we could use. So here are the references.